Welcome to Daily Digest on STEAM Radio Vision. Don't forget that this is where we bring you news headlines across the different newspapers in Nigeria. Yes, we are located at Obokun Avenue in Elisha, Osun State, Nigeria. I am Chidinma Abel, and I'll be starting with the Punch news headline this morning. From the Punch, annulled PDP convention, Turaki Films, Wicked Camp celebrate. The Tanimu Turaki-led National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party has appealed the Federal High Court's ruling that voided the party's November 2025 convention and recognized a caretaker committee backed by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. Addressing journalists on Friday, Turaki said, despite the court verdict, the party remained legally intact and unshaken as it awaits the pronouncement of the appellate court. The Federal High Court sitting in Ibadan had earlier on Friday invalidated the PDP National Convention held in Ibadan, Oyo State on November 15, 2025. The court also directed Turaki and others to stop presenting themselves as national officers of the PDP. Do well to follow us in the comment section, like and comment. Justice Uche Agamo further ruled that the caretaker committee headed by Mohammed Abdurrahman and Samuel Ayawo remains the only recognized National Working Committee of the PDP until a valid national convention is held. The PDP governors had supported the Ibadan Convention, at which Turaki and other members of the NWC National Working Committee were elected for a 4-year term. However, Wike, alongside Abdurrahman and Ayawo, insisted that they remained in office as acting national chairman and national secretary respectively. From the Punch newspaper, you will get a full story waiting for you. Now moving ahead, still on the Punch this morning. From the Punch, Nigerians self-deport amid Trump's deadly eyes raise. Nigerians self-deport amid Trump's deadly eyes raise. Some Nigerians have gone into hiding and others are returning home secretly over the intensified deportation campaign led by President Donald Trump's immigration and customs enforcement. Saturday Punch learned that many immigrants have stopped going to work as Trump reiterated his support for ICE actions. The sweeping actions, which include house-to-house enforcement raids, have stirred panic, debate, and protest, particularly following a series of high-profile deadly incidents involving the federal immigration officers. The U.S. president kick-started an immigration policy to arrest and remove illegal immigrants immediately after he was inaugurated into office in January 2025. However, his policy has been met with criticisms by many people in the U.S. and other countries over the cruelty which ICE meted out to immigrants. People who spoke to Saturday Punch from the U.S. said some Nigerians had abandoned places of work and many were secretly returning to their home country. From the Punch, that story is waiting for you. Get a copy right now and do well to leave a comment for us in the comment section as you're following the conversation. Yes, moving ahead on the Punch this morning. Abia community donates 100 million naira for Otis re-election bid. Abia community donates 100 million naira for Otis re-election bid. The Ukwa Langwa people of Abia State have donated 100 million naira to purchase the nomination form for Governor Alex Otis re-election bid ahead of the 2027 governorship election. This was disclosed in a statement issued by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Njoku Ukoha, on Saturday. It was stated that the donation was announced on Friday during a grand civic reception organized in honor of the governor at the Enyimba International Stadium, Aba. Yes, some Ukwalangwa, the chairman of the steering committee for the Ukwalangwa civic reception and speaker of the Abia State House of Assembly, Emmanuel Emeruwa, disclosed that the amounts have been raised collectively, adding that the group was ready to contribute more if necessary. Speaking at the event, Oti thanked the people for the reception and endorsement. From the Punch, you will get a full story. Yes, moving ahead from the Punch this morning. Osun LG account, court issues arrest warrant against bank. A chief magistrate court sitting in Osogbo. The Osun State capital has issued arrest warrant against the United Bank for Africa PLC and 4 of its senior officials over the alleged illegal operation and maintenance of bank accounts in the name of the 30 local government councils in the state. In a certified true copy of the order titled Warrant for Arrest of Defendant who has disobeyed summons addressed to the Osun State Commissioner of Police, the court stated in part, complaint has been made that the defendants did allow unauthorized persons to operate and maintain 30 accounts opened in favor of the 30 local government councils in Osun State with UBA Bank PLC. The defendants in the suit are United Bank for Africa PLC, its group managing director Oliver Alawuba, the company secretary and group legal advisor Bilu Odum, and the deputy managing director Shukuma Nweke. From the Punch, you will get a full story. Now away from the Punch until the Vanguard. From the Vanguard this morning. Rivers crisis, weekend threatens stadium breaking over rally denial, says heaven will not fall. Rivers crisis, weekend threatens stadium breaking over rally denial, says heaven will not fall. The crisis rocking River State may escalate into violence if the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, carries out his threat to forcefully assess the Yakubu Gowon Stadium should the state government continue to deny him permission to hold political rallies. From the Vanguard, on Friday, Wike warned that he and his supporters will break into the stadium for their next rally if the River State government maintains the stance, declaring that heaven will not fall if the facility is breached. He issued a warning in Port Harcourt during the inauguration of senatorial and local government coordinators of the Renewed Hope Ambassadors, an organization formed in support of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration ahead of the 2027 general elections. Wike said his group had formally applied to the state government for the use of the stadium but was denied access, describing the action as unprecedented. From the Vanguard, that story is waiting for you. Moving ahead, still on the Vanguard this morning. Sanwo-Olu defends Makoko demolition, seeks security fund support. The Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has reiterated that his recent demolition in parts of Makoko was carried out in the best interest of the public. He explained that the relocation of displaced residents from Okobaba to Agbowa cost the government billions of naira. Meanwhile, the governor has appealed to individuals and organizations to financially support his administration's efforts to sustain the security of lives and property in the state through the Lagos State Security Trust Fund, LSSTF. Sanwo-Olu appealed during a private breakfast meeting with select managing directors and chief executive officers of various companies organized by the LSSTF in Ikoyi, Lagos, to raise funds for critical security needs in 2026. He assured residents that his administration remains committed to keeping Lagos safe and secure. From the Vanguard, you will get a full story waiting for you. Moving ahead, still on the Vanguard this morning. Nigerians back Governor Bago on single tenure for governors and presidents. Nigerians back Governor Bago on single tenure for governors and presidents. Governor Muhammad Umaru Bago of Niger State last month delivered what could be considered a brutal truth, which many in his position will shy away from. It takes courage for someone in such a privileged position as a governor to admit publicly the failures of a system of governance in which he is a beneficiary. Bago, who was speaking at the swearing-in of newly appointed commissioners and local government council chairman, as well as some permanent secretaries and members of some boards and agencies, observed that the fear of losing an election for a second time in office discourages an incumbent governor in his first term from taking some decisive steps that could have promoted development in the state. In a sense, the incumbent governor would not want to take any action that would amount to stepping on the toes of those who may be instrumental to his re-election if it will be in the interest of the people. According to Governor Bago, there are some steps he could have taken to move the state forward, but dare not because of fear that taking such decision would affect his victory in 2027. From the Vanguard, that story is waiting for you. Now moving ahead onto the Nation. Moving away from the Vanguard to the Nation news headlines this morning. Stakeholders fought NAFDAC sachet alcohol ban. Stakeholders across Nigeria's food, beverage, distribution and informal retail sectors have expressed concern over the enforcement of a ban on alcoholic beverages packaged in sachet and containers below 200 millimeters by the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC. The concerns were outlined in a statement signed by the national president of the union, Jimoh Oyibo, following a recent press release by the Director General of NAFDAC on the policy, while acknowledging the shared objective of protecting children, adolescents, and vulnerable groups from the harmful use of alcohol. The stakeholders described the enforcement approach as disproportionate, economically disruptive, and inconsistent with broader public health realities. They noted that public health challenges require balanced, evidence-based, and enforceable solutions rather than blanket prohibitions that fail to address underlying causes. According to the statement, underage alcohol consumption is primarily linked to weak enforcement of age restrictions, limited parental supervision, and insufficient public education rather than packaging size. From the Nation, the stakeholders argued that global public health evidence shows that behavioral regulation, education-driven intervention, and strict age verification enforcement are more effective than outright public product bans. The unions also challenged NAFDAC's claim that no alcohol-producing companies were shut down as a result of the policy. He cited reported and documented instances of manufacturers' depots being sealed during enforcement operations in areas such as Enugu and Abakaliki. Some of these depots, the stakeholders said, have remained inaccessible since January 2026, despite housing products not covered by the ban. From the Nation, you will get the full story from the Nation. Moving ahead this morning. From the Nation this morning, APCE registration hit 7 million. Rescheduled Congress seats. The ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, has registered over 7 million members in its ongoing nationwide electronic membership registration exercise. The party has also extended the exercise earlier scheduled to round off on Saturday, January 31, 2026 to February 8, 2026 to accommodate the high demand and enthusiastic response from potential and existing members. National Publicity Secretary of the party, Felix Mokar, disclosed this to newsmen after the 183rd meeting of the party's National Working Committee, NWC, on Friday in Abuja. He said the extension of the registration exercise was a direct response to widespread clamor from party stakeholders. From the Nation, you will get a full story waiting for you. Moving ahead this morning on Daily Digest. From this day news headlines this morning. Tinubu felicitates Alhaja Gbajabiamila on bagging honorary doctorate award. President Bola Tinubu has distinguished non-Nigerian trailblazer and matriarch of the Lateef Gbajabiamila family of Lagos, Alhaji Latifat Olufunke Gbajabiamila, on her conferment of the Honorary Doctor of Science in Business Administration by Summit University, Ofa, Kwara State. The president, in a statement issued yesterday by his advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, joined family, friends, and well wishers in celebrating the 96-year-old United Kingdom trained nurse who blazed a trail in Nigeria's public service as the first female elected executive chairman of a local government in Lagos State. Tinubu noted with profound admiration that Alhaja Gbajabiamila's life represents resilience, professional excellence, and community service. He commended Summit University for recognizing her pioneering contributions to the nursing profession and for naming its proposed College of Nursing in her honor, a fitting tribute to her lifelong passion for healthcare delivery and human development. Tinubu saluted Alhaji Gbajabiamila for her steadfast devotion to her faith and community through the Ansaruddin Society of Nigeria and for raising a family whose members have continued to distinguish themselves in public service, most notably her son, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, Chief of Staff to the President and former Speaker of the House of Representatives. From this day, you will get a full story waiting for you. Still on this day this morning, the headline to wrap up the show. Like we're having a little challenge with network. This is where I'll be wrapping up the show, but do well to join join the conversation in the comment section. Yes, like, comment, and share. And don't forget that this program will still be making a return Monday next week. Yes, we'll be bringing Daily Digest your doorstep Monday next week. Thank you so much for joining the show. Thank you for choosing Esteem Radio Vision. We really appreciate your loyalty. We also want to appreciate our CEO in the person of Dickie Michael Adeboye Shaolu, the founder of Eniakbonle Foundation and Esteem Radio Vision. And also to my producer, Yomiko, thank you so much. Until I come your way again, I still remain Chidinma Abel. Bye for now.